And it came out, you know, I have stepkids, and when my stepdaughter was little, she used to stand on my feet, and I'd walk her across the room. And I talked to them about finding something like that that felt comfortable for them. But it's just such a great moment of, you know, physicality in their relationship that defines so much of the love that's there between the two characters.
How did the two of you just go off into the hallway and work it out?
Your specifications were that we couldn't have our faces too far apart. We had to have the light. The only time we could get light from the side was in the opening on the side of the hallway.
Yeah.
And we had to always kind of be facing forward, yet at the same time somehow. So we tried like about 5 different things, until we landed on this little.
Right. And you know, it's funny, and I know we were up against the deadline for Molly 2, to the minute, but that has been singled out by several people as the defining moment between you and Molly in the pilot.
And credit to Molly, too, who was willing to play and find something and work out and try to create a little moment.
Real authenticity to the moment. It was great.
Agreed. Isn't this Seamus's first scene?
Yeah. No. He was in the rose petal scene earlier.
Yeah.
That we shot in downtown L.A.
Yeah.
And that shot first before this?
No, you mean
in terms of sequencing of his...
I think this was the first scene he ever shot.
I think this is the first thing he shot.
Oh, he was nervous.
And this is back in L.A. with the precinct we built in Los Angeles, and you'll see that we have 2 different precincts in this that we've tried to integrate.
We actually had to replace that chair because he peed in it because he was so scared.
So nervous.
Actually, that was me. It was a new guy hazing thing.
Oh.
So here's a scene that I've always felt has been about the friend, the younger brother, asking the friend or older sister, look, is this obsession about reading books at night about murders, is this about something to do with your mom? Because we're going to find out that Beckett has a tragic history with her mom. And she just skirts the point and moves on to something else. And it's very subtle. I don't know if anybody... I think it's very subtle that that's what John was asking her to do. But to me, that's what that scene was about, was I'm not talking about it, therefore setting up when Castle accidentally stumbles upon it.
I agree. I mean, that's what I think when I read the scene, I was...
Is that what the scene meant to you, Stana?
Colby French, lovely man.
Mm-hmm. What about Tisdale and Fisk? Any connection?
Other than your boy there? No.
This is in the New York precinct.
Maybe he likes you.
This is where the long lenses and reduced field of view saved us.
Right on the river, beautiful, scenic.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It was nice being up on the roof of this building, looking at the bridge going over.
Great. It's really great.
We tried to shoot our cast photo up there.
Note in later scenes when we were in Montgomery's office.
I got to comment on that. This was the scene, the day we had 5 scenes to shoot. It would have been 6 because we did have the scene where she went into the captain and said, I don't want to be a partner with this guy. And I had told everybody, beginning with Ruben, who only had a couple of scenes,
except for me,
we're not going to shoot that scene exactly. And so we went to rehearse it, and in the rush of the day, I thought I had it covered. And Ruben walks into the room, and instead of saying, "Sure, come on in," he turns in rehearsal and says, "No." And Stana goes, "What?" And I instantly realized I didn't tell her.
And then you promised me that we'd shoot it if we got picked up.
And I said, "I'm really sorry. We don't have time to shoot the scene."
It's been the first of many Rob Bowman broken promises.
Oh.
It's one of the challenges of production is you're facing a clock every day, and you have to finish your day's work in a allotted amount of time in the location because you don't get the location the next day. And we were really up against it. And
New York is kind of like that, isn't it? Because there's so much traffic, so many people, and the spaces are a lot smaller that it feels like you're racing the clock a lot more than, let's say, in Los Angeles filming.
Just logistically, yeah. And so that was the scene we had to cut. So, it became clear to Rob and I halfway through the day that we weren't going to get the scene. And I had to figure out how to cover this important scene. And it turned out that it was a great happy accident because the look that Stana gives as Beckett in the moment really defines.
It's all different. It's all changed.
Yeah, it's all there.
He always says yes. He always lets me come into his office and talk to him. So here we have a
this is a great scene.
Pretty interesting moment, and this began in rehearsal. I think it was in New York we were rehearsing.
It was rehearsals in New York, yeah.
And Castle starts on this thoughtful guess and trying to figure out who she is. And
it starts out as a game to him, and he realizes that I just trespassed. I just went too far, and
completely disarmed her.
he feels bad about it, but you know, what is revealed on her face in the moment is really powerful.
Great work, Stana.
And I believe I'm remembering correctly that in rehearsal in that conference room at Silver Cup, that we knew what the scene was, and I was sitting slightly behind Stana looking at Nathan, and there was a pause in the dialogue, and I threw my look to Stana, and she was frozen. She was stuck. She couldn't talk. And it was like, what was that? So the scene changed in rehearsal. That's the beauty of rehearsal, is you never know. And so it went from her blowing him off to, he just opened, her closet, and it's a very revealing, vulnerable moment between the two of them. And I think just in terms of a note, the color of the note is a really nice place to go in a pilot with all the fun in it.
And now we're back at the New York precinct, and we're back to having some fun, and him trespassing in her world. And to me, the moment coming up here is a really great definition of who the two characters are.
Yeah.
I'm not threatened.
No, I get it. I can call the mayor, and you can.
We have procedure. Protocol.
Yeah, and you always come to a complete stop at a red light, and you never fudge your taxes. Tell me something. You ever have any fun? Let your hair down, drop your top. Seems like so long ago.
I know.
You do know I'm wearing a gun.
And her with that dry retort just to stick the knife in.
I love how in the beginning of that bit too that there's a playfulness between Beckett and Esposito, which suggests that kind of brother-sister relationship between the two detectives.
This was our first scene we shot.
Yeah.
Of the whole pilot.
First,
That's right.
Day one. It's in the roof of the hotel we were staying in. I can't remember the name of the hotel.
What have you?
Parker Meridian.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And that is Central Park out the window.
And go straight up.
That's Central Park. We were really there.
So
Yeah.
nervous.
Were you?
Yeah, you know.
God, everybody had so much moxie that day.
So we had the girl in the dress, a stunt woman, and it was fascinating to watch because she would take her breath and then put her head in the water and float like a dead body. And we'd have to wait for the water to settle before we shot her. So she
then
was
say action.
And then say action. So it was like she was holding her breath for a good 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was.
And cut was when
Phenomenal.
she couldn't hold her breath anymore.
Yeah.
And that was sort of the rule of the day.
Oh, you're good.
That's Tamala Jones playing the medical examiner.
This is, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Sort of established the sisterhood there.
Between Tamala and
Yeah, Laney and Beckett,
Between
yeah.
Laney and Beckett.
Give you an order, I expect you to obey it.
Then you don't know me very well. In my book, the dress was blue.
Don't try to change the subject.
Does Tisdale and Fisk know each other?
We haven't found a connection. Why?
What about motive?
I love the physicality that you captured in the scene, Rob, of, her trying to put him in his place.
Yeah.
Then she walks away, and he's just following along like a little untrained puppy.
Yeah, right on her tail. Now we're in Los Angeles.
Oh, yes, the car racing.
That was awesome.
That was fun.
Uh-oh. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, Castle, you trouble.
We reshot this bit, yeah, in Los Angeles.
This was new to bolster her edge. We wanted to see, what kind of what a field cop she was.
So we had some footage in New York that we were limited on the day, and we had to do it in a much different way that was a much softer intro to the scene. So we were able now to come in stronger when we
thicken it
reshot
up,
in L.A. Yeah.
I broke that door a few times. We had to
Take one.
Stick
yeah,
your foot through it, remember?
Yeah, and then
Put a
we had
hole
to
in it.
rebuild it.
Weren't you wearing heels or something, trying to kick it down? And
You must be so strong.
Yeah, my heel just popped out the other end.
You should invite him to join your book club.
So again, we're, these kinds of
okay, so this is interesting.
Moments.
This is in Los Angeles, right?
Oh, here we go.
This.
And then this is in New York.
Wait.
This is New York.
No, this is LA. No,
This is New York.
This is New
Yeah,
York.
that's
You're
New
right.
York.
That's
LA.
L.A. New
New
York.
York. And
New
New
York.
York.
L.A.
I was never a scout.
New York. New York, yeah. L.A. New York.
New York.
Yeah.
New York.
New York,
L.A.
yeah,
New York.
So it was a fun challenge in the editing room.
New York. Yeah.
And it was
And-
seamless until you watch this commentary.
L.A.
Yeah, now we're back in L.A.
Now this is all rest is in L.A.
Yeah.
I just wanted to shoot the guy.
Now we use a different